Hi, chat. We're starting a little bit early today. Hello, chat. Because I have some things I need to yap about real quick. I have things I want to yap about, and just in general, I feel like this is my warm up. This is my warm up, chat. Is just fucking yapping about stupid shit. Okay? So, one of the things that happened this week. Chat, I got my ring. Chat, I got my ring! I got my fucking ring, bitch! I'm a fit, like, dude, I don't think you guys fucking understand. When I got that fucking ring in the mail from my boyfriend, I was like, ah! You know? I'm like, oh my god! Like, I'm so fucking happy. Like, dude, it's not even funny. Like, dude. Like, I don't think you guys understand. I literally took a family trip, and that whole time, I'm sitting there fucking, like, very subtly in quotations, right? Holding my cup in a way so you could see the ring. Fucking admiring it in the fucking morning light. Fucking, you know, being a dork, you know? Just fucking like, oh my god, you know? So I'm very, very, very excited about that. We'll just, dude, oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut, at some point, I don't know if I'm ever gonna shut the fuck up about the fact that I got this ring, dude. Maybe it'll happen eventually. I don't fucking know. In the meantime, I've been really grinding on Uma Musume Pretty Derby. Like, I'm trying to train up these fucking horses so that I could get to, like, I think B+ is my current goal to try to get them to. But yeah, like, and then I also, you know, I want to play Goo Goo Babies. I want to play Goo Goo Babies, dude. I want to play Goo Goo Babies with Super Creek. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't even know what that is. I still, like, there's so many memes about that, right? About Goo Goo Babies. I still don't know what the hell that means. You know, but... And also because, like, there's currently an event right now for more fucking support cards for Uma Musume. And I'm just trying to, like, get on my fucking grind when it comes to that shit. So, what we might do is... I know we have a lot of games scheduled this week. But if we end up finishing one of them, like, early or some shit, I might do a little Uma Musume. A keyword there is might, because I am very indecisive right now when it comes to what I stream currently. Like, I keep being like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna do this today, and then it ends up being not that. I think it's just like I don't think that I have ADHD. It feels more just like my brain is very hyperactive. Like, I will just move on to the next thing if I like it. So I think that's where my brain is at. Haha, funny. But yeah, we're gonna actually, so we did a little bit of The Good People, I want to say last week before we left on our little vacation. So we're gonna do it again. I'm gonna see how much I'm gonna get through with this, because this one is pretty long from what I've seen. But yeah, very excited. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. We're gonna get fucking started. Let me get this loaded. Oy, see me. Freaking nose, dude. Fuck my stupid Baka life. Okay. Okay, we got it now. Yay. Alright. Oh yeah, right. I'm gonna have to fix this. Hold on. I forgot that I did it like this because I was testing, what was I testing? I think I was testing how, like, Uma Musume would look if I did it, like, squished like that. So I finally figured out a way to do it, so yay. Okay. We last left off. Turn to new. What's that one? That's right. Should I sorry something? I want to say we left off here was where it was. Yeah, Logan. Chapter, I don't know that number. Call of the Crows. I feel a tugging in my navel, like some force is violently dragging me forward, and a crisp wind hits my face. Whoa now. Tugging in the reins, I call for Darby to stop so I can reorient myself. Reorient myself. I know words. What in the hell? Mushroom. Winks of golden light illuminate through the canopy of the otherwise dark and foreboding forest, now absent of any features of spring. Nothing green remains. All the trees are painted in the cool autumn hues, and the leaves fall with such frequency that I'm surprised that any above remain. Impossibly large mushrooms replace the vibrant flowers and overgrowth of the sealy forest, and an eerie silence is only occasionally interrupted by a gust of wind. I shiver in the saddle as chilly air and a steady drizzle of rain quickly permeates through my clothes. Where am I? I look behind me for any signs of the void, the cottage, or the bright morning sunlight I left behind. But all I find is more of this damp air and darkness. I scan the forest floor for any tracks that might guide me, but the horse I was chasing seems to simply vanish into thin air. Where could it have even gone? I search the canopy, but only find a few crows watching me from above. My mind swirls with confusion as I clench Darby's reins and turn her around in hopeless circles, as though that would somehow take me back to where I was. Oh, what was I thinking? I'm even more lost than I was before. I groan and throw my hands up in frustration, causing Darby to huff nervously and shift underneath me. Oh, sorry, Darby. I stroke her neck until she relaxes again. At least this time I'm not lost and alone. But what should I do? Just pick a direction and hope for the best? I have no idea where I am, much less how far I am from that lake now. Not to mention, given the sudden shift to the seasons, I can't help but fear the worst. That somehow, after running through that void, more time has passed than I can afford. Wait a second. The map from Shay's outpost. I rack my brain for as many details as I can remember. That city... Tever? Tever. I know that word. That city, Tever. Wasn't it Phalius? Right. Folius. Fuck! No! I know these words, okay? I pause, a realization coming to me. I remember that map called Folius for the province of Spring. At first I thought it was a figure of speech, but maybe it wasn't. Could each province be stuck in a season? That would explain all these changes. I keep going down this line of thinking. Since this place is autumn, it must be Morius, I think. Can't say for sure, but knowing I haven't somehow jumped forward in time makes me feel a little better about this. If only I had the map with me, then maybe I could find my way to the border. Seems I don't have a choice here. If I don't get going somewhere or another, then I'm just gonna sit here and shiver. Resigning myself to aimless wandering, Darby and I set off in search for any signs of civilization. As we approach a dirt road deeper into the forest, more crows begin to fly in and perch on the canopy. The more the merrier, I suppose. But in the silence of the forest, the growing audience in the canopy is a little creepy. It really does feel like I'm being watched, and the increasing darkness of my surroundings doesn't help much either. An unsettling cacophony. Oh. Okay, actually, maybe it's very creepy. I urge Darby into a canter and we hurry down the path, hoping to escape the uncanny atmosphere. Suppose she's coming for us still. Shut up, would ya? If she is, she'll be following the sound of your yellow bellying. I gently pull back on Darby's reins as I hear a group of voices up ahead of me. For a moment, I breathe a sigh of relief. That didn't take long at all. Maybe my luck is finally turning around. Let her come then. I'll give her a right proper wallop. You'll give her... Are you mad? She's the bleeding more... For the love of Angus, stop your jawling and help me move this cart. I did it! I know what that word was. And you, if you don't stop drinking all the wares, your pissed trousers are going in a ditch. So unless you fancy walking back to Goria's bare-assed in the snow. Bah, piss off. Alright, that's enough of that for you. Oi, don't go snatching a man's whiskey before he's finished. Well, there's definitely something off about the trio. One of them is unquestionably drunk, and the others seem to be restless and on edge. It may not be a good idea to approach them after all. Still, I don't know when I'll be crossing another person's path. These forests are dense and intimidating and filled with who knows what. Do I really want to risk what might be my one chance of finding my way out of here? I clench my jaw. I don't want to turn back if I don't have to, so I resolve to inch myself a little bit forward and just keep listening in on their conversation for now. If they seem like trouble, then I'll just turn heel and be on my way. At least they don't seem to be going anywhere fast from what I can tell, squinting through the trees. Shh, bollocks. How is anyone supposed to move about these godforsaken woods when it's always raining and making a mess of the roads? Ha, missing home? Gods, no. Do I look like I enjoy freezing my tits off? Ugh, what tits? You know, one of these days I'm gonna cut that tongue for your gobshite mouth. Easy up. If we're caught like this, we're all getting worse. Ugh. If I thought you were going to be such a lily-livered little coward about all this. Good sense ain't cowardice. I didn't think we were gonna snatch this from the main supply lines and right under the nose of... Where else, you idiot? Further north you go, the less anything grows. All I'm saying is we're doing just fine. Ha! You call holding up poor bastards on the roadside fine? It wasn't much, but we may do. We shall just grab what we can and get a move on. This'll right wash you know it. Don't be stupid. You know how much grain's in there? We've been living fat and happy like old King Henri for a year. Easy. Not if we don't make it back. Then move your hide and push. This bloody cart ain't moving and going nowhere without more hands. You know, you're right. Oi, where'd that drunken lacquer total off to? The suddenness of yet another crow up above nearly startles me out of my skin. I huff, glaring at the little menace as it swoops down. It forces me to lock eyes with the drunkard, peering at me through the foliage. Oh, god damn it! Caught off guard, I momentarily hesitate, and that unfortunately gives the drunkard enough time to lunge at me, even as I kick Darby into motion. With one swift motion, the hefty brute grabs a fistful of my clothes and yanks me off of Darby's saddle. I land with a thud to the muddy forest floor, watching helplessly as Darby spurs down the path. Not so fast, Spira. The drunkard whistles to the other bandits before dragging me to my feet and shoving me forward. I struggle against his grip, hoping to at least throw him off balance, but it's useless. He's short and stout, but as sturdy as a brick house, even sloshed. Up ahead, I finally see the scene that's been mostly hidden from me up until now. The bandits have been struggling to dislodge a horse-drawn cart from a muddy rut. It's so well and stuck that the car looks close to tipping over. I can't see past the street covering the cart's contents, but if it's all grain, then there's no way their poor horse will be able to pull all of that for long. At least not by itself. As the drunkard and I meander into view, the other two bandits block Darby's path and calm her down enough to grab hold of her reins. My stomach sinks. This is not good at all. How about that, huh? The old bag down who's smiling on us after all. Fate's brought us a horse and a fancy bastard to boot. I figured it out. Very fancy. Who are they supposed to be anyhow? And what's with the ears? I failed to find a proper answer to any of these questions as I feel my mouth go dry. My eyes dart between the bandits, or more pertinently, the weapons at their sides. Eventually, I managed to sputter out a pitiful little plea. Please, I don't have anything of value. No, don't look it to me. The drunkard claps me on the back, sending me stumbling right into the middle of all three bandits. I'm surrounded. It's true, though. Check me. Check my horse. I was already robbed of everything. The bandit woman snorts as I say this, giving me a disdainful once-over. You know, lads, I don't doubt it. The other bandits guffaw, and a look of understanding seems to cross all their faces. I swallow, hard. How am I going to get out of this? Look, I don't want any trouble with you folks. Honest, I was just passing through. Shut it. The bandit woman stalks towards me, her hand reaching towards her waist. I'll be square with you. We're in a bit of a rush here, so I don't much care to deal with you any longer than I need to. So here's how this works. We're taking the horse. You're outnumbered, defenseless, and, by the looks of it, have never been in a real scrap in your life. So unless you like me to paint the roadside with your entrails, best move along now. I can't let them take Darby. I'm not losing the old girl again. I am going to make a break for it. I step back with my hands raised, giving the bandit woman a brief nod before casting my gaze downward. I attempt to look dejected as I can while I walk a ways off, before making a break towards Darby. I toss myself onto her plenty of times, so she's so close. If I could just get... Really? I tumble onto my knees after having my legs kicked out from under me. Oh, fuck off! Darby, you bitch! What do you mean? It takes me a moment before I realize the bandit woman just up and tackled me. An even longer moment passes before I notice the sharp object digging in between my shoulder blades. Wrong way. Shite. I find myself completely frozen. Am I dead? Am I dead? This is how I meet my end. I was stuck in breath between my teeth, awaiting the inevitable with my eyes squinted shut. Oh! My eyes flash open again. Oh, hello! I flip over and scramble back to my feet, realizing the bandit had been wrenched off of me. Out of nowhere, a mysterious woman steps between me and my assailer. Her bronze sword glints in the evening light as she raises it to parry the bandit woman's dagger, before kicking her square in the chest and knocking her to the ground, breathless. Damn! Without sparing me a glance, the warrior woman lunges towards the other bandits. The nervous man fumbles as he retrieves his sword, and the drunkard is unable to keep up with the warrior's unending onslaught through his inebriation. All I can do is watch my savior with awe as she dodges one man's sloppy swing before swiftly taking him down and then blocking the other's sword just as it comes at her. She effortlessly defends against both men, though I suppose one being drunk doesn't hurt. A movement in my periphery catches my attention in time to see the bandit woman has crawled back to her feet, her dagger once again in hand. The warrior is engaged with the second man still, and I will never see her in time. Stop her! Fuck! I look around in panic. There's gotta be something around here that'll make do for a weapon. Finally, I spot a huge branch on the forest floor. I suppose now is as good as the time as any to see if these things will do much against a person. The woman has her dagger raised high, ready to strike at the warrior woman from behind, when my makeshift club connects with the side of her head. She crumples to the ground noiselessly. Let's go! I stare at the branch in disbelief before dropping it, as though it burns to keep holding on. Let's go! I kick ass! Is she... Did I kill her? Is she dead? She's a little worse for wear, but... Okay, cool. The woman is sheathing her sword as she approaches me. The other two bandits are both lying unconscious behind her. Thank you for having my back just then. Very resourceful. Are you okay? They didn't injure you? I'm sorry I didn't get here faster. Thank you. I'm fine, mostly, just a little shaken up. I've never been in a real fight before. Then I apologize again for dragging you into one.
By the way, I'm Maitre Jor, commander of the Unseelie Sentinels.
Oh!
I've been trailing these bandits for a while now, after they stole some supplies being sent out of province.
I like her. Maeve. Yeah, hi Maeve. I like you a lot. She gestures over to the covered cart. Pleasure, Maeve. I'm the Sealy Court Druid. Mouth agape, I stare at her for a moment. Some small part of me had hoped that I might be able to escape this continuous identity crisis, but no such luck. What is this? Milesian. Oh. As a Milesian, you're pretty conspicuous if you know what to look for. Not to mention the outfit gives you away. Not every day a member of the Sealy Court gets caught crossing the side of the border. Gets caught? I don't much like the sound of that. So, Druid, want to tell me what you're doing here? I shuffle a bit nervously, wondering if my answer could land me in trouble. Still, I don't really know enough about what's going on to lie. It's a very long story. For one, I'm not clear where here is. Maeve observes me for a moment, like she's trying to figure out if I'm being honest or not. Wordlessly, she turns to inspect the cart's contents. You're in the forest just outside of, oh my god, Kajlon ne...
Kashlan Nanini.
Oh. Kajlon Nanini. So you can understand why I can't just let you leave. Our enemy's court druid just showing up here, just shy of the capital, is a very substantial criminal offense. Trespassing and all that. Criminal? Oh, However, since you helped me out here, you can ride alongside me with your horse rather than in the back of this lot. Gesturing over to the groaning bandit, she gives me a genial nudge before procuring some rope from somewhere. Once I load them onto the cart, we're heading straight to the king. On the way, you can give me the highlights of what you're up to. I'm gonna help her. I think she's nice. I have to say, so far Maeve has been nicer and more straightforward with me than anyone, despite the fact I've already broken the law just by being here. Maybe if I stay on her good side, she'll be convinced I'm not here to cause trouble. If we are going to see the king, I'll need all the help I can get. As Maeve picks up one end of a bandit, I lift the other, and we heave them each onto the cart, before binding them together with the rope. By the time we're done, the fabric against my back is damp and my shoulders are burning. Maeve, however, seems completely unbothered. I have to admit, you surprised me yet again, Druid. So far, you are nothing like what I expected. It's refreshing. I feel a little bashful from the praise. I faintly wonder if buttering me up is some kind of compliance tactic, but if it is, it's working. I am a sip is what it is. Oh, well, thanks. I'll go get Darby hooked up to the cart. Maeve grins, nodding at me as I go. God, she's pretty. Yeah, she is pretty! I like her! Listen, if you want to be my buff wife, I will be housewife, okay? Before we get going, Maeve gestures for me to follow her to the driver's seat. I nervously follow, but to my surprise, she removes a cloak from the cart and gently wraps it around me before tying it together. Steely clothes aren't exactly made to withstand our climates. Put the hood up as well, to hide your ears. My body relaxes into the warmth of the cloak, as though it was just now remembering how cold it was before. I guess my adrenaline rush back there helped too. It takes a few minutes for Maeve and I to unwedge the cart from the rut, but with two horses at the front of us and us pushing at the rear, we get it done. Though, if I'm being honest, Maeve did most of the heavy lifting. Finally, we set out on the road, side by side in the front of the cart. Well, all we have now is time. Let's hear it. Right, well, I very cautiously explained, and try to keep the details as sparse as possible, just in case. I was just at my cottage when I saw something take off into the woods with my saddlebag. I had some important things in there, so I gave chase on Darby here, but then I fell into this, I don't know what to call it, void, I guess? A great big white light. Anyway, I fumbled in and it spat me out here. Don't know how! I've never seen anything like it. I was looking for directions when I ran into the bandits and then you. Despite my clumsy description, Maeve seems to be following the narrative better than me. Once I finish, I wait for her verdict. Did you see what the thief looked like? I hesitate. This may be Tirnanog, but I don't exactly know how common literal horse thieves are, or whatever that thing was. It had purplish hair? Well, it was better than nothing. Unbelievable. Damn it. Of all the times, I'm gonna have to make sure he doesn't get away with it. Pardon? Sorry, I just have a reoccurring pain in my arse to address. The good news for you is, I know who has your stuff. In fact, I think you do too. I sit up a little straighter. I do? Maeve heaves a long sigh that looks at me warily. Well, we'll soon find out. It's only a suspicion for now. My stomach turns as I think about the possibility of interacting with yet another acquaintance of Diana's. But I feel a minor sense of relief as well. It's not much, but at least it's a lead. Yeah, Diana. Yeah. I don't have to fight a dragon or anything, do I? Why would you have to do something like that? Sorry, it's just been a weird day. Or possibly longer, I can't really tell. So, who is it and where can I find them? We're already heading there, don't you worry. We still have a little ways to go, though, so make yourself comfortable. I nod, settling back into my seat. Alright, quietly riding towards yet another menacing capital city is going to kill me. Maeve's been friendly enough with me so far, so I might as well make conversation. Once I can think of a topic, anyway. Is this a normal day for you? Okay, so, how's the weather? Fuck. Chasing criminals through the woods and getting into life or death fights? Pretty much. That fight didn't look very life or death for you. True, but it might have been for the village. This cart was headed to. Our lands aren't as fertile as Sicily, so Gorias relies on a lot of imports from what farmlands we have here in Murias. It's not unusual for brigands to target the northern supply lines, though. They'll take their portion, then market the rest of it out to the very people it was originally going towards. Jack up the prices, and you've got yourself a good little scheme.
A lucrative one, I should say. One that preys on the desperation of the powerless. There's no price a mother wouldn't pay to keep her babes from starving, as they say.
Of course, the gangs never really take the mother starving into account. Oi! We're not to the bloody gang what is it? Kaliak?
Hyliak.
Haliak. Okay. We're not a bloody gang, Haliak. So don't you go adding that to whatever finds. Maeve turns her head slightly to glare at the bandit woman. She holds Maeve's steely expression for far longer than I would have, but eventually breaks. Maeve turns around again. No, you're not. You're petty thieves in the full extent of the word petty, and didn't care one lick of who might have starved if you gotten away with this. So spare me the indignation. The state of your honor is not a matter of debate. With that, we all fall into an uncomfortable silence, and remain that way until we reach the city. As Maeve and I approach the end of the autumn forest, we come to a cliffside with an imposing castle on its precipice and a storming lake to its back. Here we are. That's the capital? It's no Tremere, but yes, the stronghold itself is home to about 200 people, with more folks in the surrounding villages. It's not the biggest castle the Unseelie took, but it was the last and hardest fought. King Lugard felt it was necessary to make this place, the last city before spring, our capital. He was the sort of person to take symbolic gestures very seriously. I'm going to edit something real quick. There we go. Okay, Anyway, let's keep going. The castle town is much different than Tremere. The city feels slower, a bit emptier. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this. I guess I figured the king would be instantaneous as Aoife. The buildings haven't been maintained very well either. Some of the shopkeepers are patching up walls rather than attending to their empty counters. In some senses, it reminds me more of home, but that's surprising in its own way. I must be wearing quite the expression because Maeve starts explaining.
It doesn't look like much now, but it's a sight better than it was when we first started rebuilding. The war took a great toll on Morius. Gorius too, of course. But the fighting and the destruction was always more intense in these parts.
Between the Seelie's trade embargo, keeping the gangs under control, and restructuring how everyone gets fed, well, we just haven't had the time or resources to mend every roof. The king hasn't been on the throne long either, but he has good plans in mind. We don't have much, but we're doing what we can, and it helps to know we're in this together. With time and cooperation, we might even be able to make this place better than before. There's a twinkle in her eye, and she casually looks over at me as she suggests it. Does she mean me, or, well, Diona? Damn. Fucking Diona. I still can't get over that fucking shit from last week where it's like, you're Diona, I'm Diona. Is there any other Dionas I don't know about? Is that why she's being so genial? Am I being recruited? I find myself fidgeting with the cloak Maeve gave me. Is a druid that influential? I can't help but to think back to what Aoife told me. Druids have always been invaluable consultants to the kings and queens of Tuatha De Danann. But shouldn't that mean that the king has a druid in his court too? If I ask, would that be considered rude? I'm gonna ask. Maeve, can I ask a question about the Unseelie court? Of course, as long as it isn't state secrets. She gives me a wink and I feel a little anxious about asking. Does your court have a druid? I just meant I haven't heard. Used to. Not at the moment, though. It's an important position. We need time to address an appropriate candidate. I can only imagine. That's understandable. I hope you get one soon. How congenial you are. As we continue on through the city, I notice that most of the townspeople who spot Maeve come up to greet us. Oh, Maeve, would you come by sometime for a cup? Thank you. I'll come by sometime. Maeve, thanks for getting my lyre back. Next song is dedicated to you. If that's true, Cillian, it better not be another one about tavern girls. Hi, Maeve. I've got something set aside for you now. Maeve pauses at the vendor's call. What do you say? Want to take a little detour with me? Okay. I'm in no rush for another royal confrontation. Not to mention, Maeve isn't the worst company I've had so far. Excellent. We lead the cart over to the vendor who was called out to us, and he pulls out a small brown bottle that's been sealed with red wax. Not too much trouble getting it. She handles the bottle gently, tucking it into her saddlebag with care before fishing out a few odd-looking coins. If they can even be called coins. They look more like rings. These days, what isn't too much trouble? But for you, it was nothing. You're too kind. As we turn to leave, the man catches Maeve's attention once more. By the way, I meant to tell you. That old bandit gang, oh god. Dua Fiona is back around causing trouble. Doubt you want to take care of it before the king does. I'll see what I can do. We head back towards the castle, but the atmosphere has changed. Maeve seems distracted by what the vendor said. Maeve? Sorry, I got lost in thought. About the group the vendor mentioned? Who are they? It's a bit complicated. Some folks will just tell you they're just another group of bandits. But? Well, they don't see themselves that way. And I don't think it's completely fair to say they're just another gang. But maybe that's my bias talking. I used to be one of them before I ended up where I am now. What? Really?
It was a long time ago. They gave me a home where I had nowhere else to go and saw themselves as vigilantes, bringers of justice.
What are we, some kind of suicide squad?
They're not all bad, but not all good either. I left because I realized we weren't fixing anything. Not really.
I want to help them help themselves, I suppose. I don't know if I'll be able to reach them, but I want to try. But enough about me. I have supplies and a very companionable druid to deliver. Come on now. We should head to the stables and then to the keep. After that, stick by and let me do most of the talking. Not a problem. If I've learned anything so far, it's to try and avoid attention. Maeve takes me over to the stables, where she assures me that Darby will be well taken care of. Trust me, these horses eat better than we do. While I get Darby's stall set up, Maeve takes the cart and bandits to a small group of guards where she starts giving them instructions. I'm filling the water trough when she returns.
Hey, I just want you to know I think you're telling the truth. I hope that makes you feel a little better about all this.
Okay, great. Can you tell your king that I'm not a Deona and I can go home, please? Please? It does, but my stomach is too queasy to answer with more than a nod and a weak smile. Can you please tell your king that I'm not a Deona so I can go home? Once we reach the enormous wooden doors of the keep, Maeve gives me one last comforting smile and places a hand gently on my shoulder. You'll be fine. Probably. Probably! Okay. Chapter 8. The Horned Devil. I think that's what it is, right? I think that's 8. Yeah, I want to say that's 8. Hold on. Oh, no, that's 7. I was close. I was a number off. Whatever. I was one number off. As Maeve heaps open the heavy wooden doors, a wave of heat falls over me. The warmth eases the bitter autumn wind from my weary bones, but just as soon as I begin to feel myself relaxing, something else strikes my senses, the rich, all-encompassing smell of a freshly cooked feast. I blink, taking in the strange scene before me. What kind of throne room is this? It's nothing like the Seelys. In fact, if not for the literal throne at the far back, I wouldn't have realized that this was a throne room at all. If anything, it's more of a public dining hall. The majority of the room is consumed by massive wood tables covered end to end with all sorts of food and drink. I feel my mouth water enviously as I watch the crowd of common folk mingle and treat themselves to the fresh loaves of bread, steaming hot meats, fruits and vegetables, cakes and cheeses, meat and whiskey. My stomach twists, painfully, audibly. Oh my god! Go ahead. Huh?
You're hungry. Eat something. We'll be waiting a while still.
The doctor's feast beats all. Wait, what? Yeah, doctor. Okay. No, that's alright. I'm fine. Of course, that was just about the biggest, fattest lie I've ever spoken in all my life, but I just couldn't. Even now I have to hold out hope. Suit yourself. With that, Maeve steers us away from the tables and off to the side, right around the center of the room. The silence is awkward, so I break it. I want to ask about the king, please. So we're waiting on the king, right? Maeve gives me a quick glance and nods her head. Mm-hmm.
It isn't every day a silly spy of such high standing gets caught crossing the border.
What? But you said I'm not. You can relax. I'm only joking. Kinda. You did illegally cross into unseelie territory, and ordinarily the punishment for doing so is, well, not good. But so far, you show me a fair quality of character, so I'm going to vouch for you. Besides, if what you said before is true, then none of this was your fault. Still, we had to verify the validity of your story, and ultimately, the king has the final say of what's to be done with you. That could be trouble. I don't know anything about this other king, and by the way she talks of it, my life may depend on his temperament. And if what the Seelie Queen says about him is true, what's he like? Maeve looks away, a bit hesitant. I imagine you've heard by now. Why don't you tell me? Oh god. Okay. So I could be completely blunt and be like, well, this is what this person said. I need to know if it's true. Or I could just fucking lie about it. No, you know what? No. I am committed to not fucking lying about shit. No, you haven't given me a reason to lie, Maeve. So I'm going to be honest and say that Aoife was talking mad shit. Well, I've heard a few things. But Aoife? You're on a first-name basis with a Sealing Queen? Oh, I am not smart. I'm a dumb fuck. Well, I suppose, but, well, this complicates matters. No, it doesn't. I barely know her, honest. She just told me to call her that in a general sort of flirty way.
I see.
The Sealy Queen flirted with you. No, she's just like that, with everyone. What else was I supposed to do, refuse? Right. Well, all of that notwithstanding, then. I wouldn't go trusting what the Sealy Queen says either which way, but I don't say that because she's my enemy. Do you know her? No. But I know she has no legitimate claim to the throne. Oh, Cheesemit? I squint, confused. What do you mean? Why? King Andrai, who we fought against in the War of the Courts, died without any heirs, and his wife abdicated soon after. No one knows why. Ooh, Henri, damn it. Same day, this Aoife person appears, claiming that the Brugger remains of Leafal cried out to her. Even more baffling, the Sealy court just seemed to run with it and made her the queen. Leafal has inherited a high king for thousands of years. Not since Inishfal. I'm sure there's more to it, things I don't know, but even if Leafal did roar for her, well, I have a hard time believing that all the Tiranai on the Sealy side just shrugged their shoulders and deferred to the opinion of a stone, instead of making a case for her own right to rule. The Tira, yeah. For them to fall in line without any sort of fuss. Just be on your guard. Flanon. Okay, King Flanon is many things, but he's honest. Even if you don't like him, you could trust that he believes the things he says and won't try to deceive you. She said he's like his father. Interesting. Is he? And is that a good thing? He's... Mori, are you giving my friend over there a hard time? Abruptly cut off, Maeve and I both look in the direction of the dice, where someone distinctly not kingly sits on the throne.
Robin.
Get down from there! But this Robin person ignores Maeve entirely, choosing to instead set her gaze squarely on me. Oh, hello! You're so pretty!
Dayon! Did you go breaking the court's treaty of mutual surrender just to see little old me? You shouldn't have. Really? You shouldn't have.
Oh, so pretty. Oh, hey, catch! Robin practically jolts out of the throne, reeling back her arm and giving it a good swing forward. Before I quite realize it, it's a vaguely brownish looking blob is hurtling its way across the room right towards my face. All I could do is flinch and bring my arms up over my head, but the collision never comes. When I dare to open my eyes again, I see Maeve glowering furiously at Robin, her hand outstretched in front of me and clutching onto my saddlebag? This yours, isn't it? Gawking, I reach out and grab it from her. Sure enough, as I tear through the contents of the bag, all my things are still in it. I stand there, baffled. How did I what? I startle as Robin is suddenly standing right in front of me, grinning ear to ear. Hastily swinging the bag out of Claw's reach, I stand up straight and jab my finger into her chest. How did you end up with my saddlebag? Was that your horse? You could say that. I feel my face heating up the more I look at that smug devil-may-care face. Why did you steal my saddlebag?
Steal? Me? Why, I never.
You kinda did steal it, though! I was holding on to it for you, Dee. You left it just lying around. It was on my horse. I know. It's enough to make a poor kid jealous.
Robin, stop this. You're not a child.
Sure I am. Look at me. A true kid at heart.
So am I to assume that the druid's account is true? They followed you through a ley line after you made off with their things for some inexplicable reason. Seems plausible. Right. Well, that's one problem sorted at least. Okay, so maybe, okay. So if Robin was the one who sold the saddlebag and shit and tried to steal the horse. So it's either A, Robin was the one who led us here. Because I know for a fact that Robin was probably that horse that led us into this fall land in the first place. But I almost wonder if Robin is also the same person that got us into Steely territory in the first place. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just dropping that theory. Now we know for certain his was an accident. That should help when I explain this mess to the king. What?
Oh, you don't really have to drag him into all this, do you?
Yes. With all that's happened recently, he might not take too kindly to. Of course I have to tell him this is a matter of security. But I could just pop them back over right now and no one's the wiser. Except me, you, the druid, anyone they may tell. Shh, you can keep a secret, can't you, Dee?
Robin.
Babe.
This is serious. Accident or not, you forced us into a sensitive diplomatic situation.
Oh.
Got it. I got it. Big man said he wanted eyes on the inside, didn't he? Well, here you go. Eyes on the inside, trustworthiness certified. We can just tell him that and ignore the other bits. What? No, I'm not going to lie to the king. It's not a lie. Just a little bit of bullshit. And we all do a little bit of bullshitting from time to time, don't we, Maeve? After all, this isn't exactly the first time, but hold your tongue. Smiling, Robin proceeds to stick out her tongue and hold it. Physically. You stay here with the druid. I'm going to find the king and request a private audience with all three of us, and we're going to be forthright with him. But in the meanwhile, keep a low profile for once, would you? As Maeve begins to walk away, Robin swerves around and grabs me by the shoulders. Oh.
Help me out here, would you?
No. I don't know you. You know, I could be really funny. What if I did a little silly and helped? I don't really have a good feeling about this, but I'm not overly keen on being subject to the whims of yet another monarch. If this is the only way, then okay. Great! I knew I could count on you, buddy. Now, eat this. Robin lets go of my shoulders, only to then immediately grab my hand, turn it over palm side up, and drop an overripe blackberry into it. Gross. Where was she even keeping that? In any case, I shook my head. No? No, I don't think I will. Of course you will. You agreed. I didn't think you meant eating rotten fruit. How's this supposed to help you with Maeve and the king anyway? Sorry, but I am not. As I speak, I try to toss the berry off to the side, but my hand won't budge, and Robin's no longer touching it.
I asked you to help me. I didn't say how or what with, did I?
Oh my god. Go on now. Bottoms up. As soon as Robin says that, I feel my fingers close over the berry. Wait, no, don't. I can't. Of course you can. You agreed. There's nothing I could do. My arm, my hand, my fingers, they all move on their own until the berry is past my lips and down my throat. I gag almost immediately, but no matter how I cough, it won't come back up. Damn it. God damn it. I have my bag and everything. Now See, not so bad, was it? I glare daggers at Robin, clenching my hand into a fist. You bastard! I take a step towards Robin, half ready to clobber them, only to immediately falter. A haze suddenly clouds over my vision, blurring the room around me into an incomprehensible mass of shapes and colors. Oh, I got drugged. Okay. Cool. Awesome. What? What's happening? Oh, spoke too soon. Hang on a minute. Mori, oh Mori, we have a little problem. I collapse onto the floor, quickly losing my ability to keep track of what's going on around me. My vision blurs further and then blackens together, just as Maeve comes running back with Robin. What did you do? Me? Do? Why, I never. Anyway, can you do me a solid and fetch me a few things, or quickly? Because if not, they might not. Chapter 8. The King's Proposal. Bruh! Okay. My eyes flutter open as I slowly regain consciousness, finally feeling the dense fog pass from my head. Ugh. What? Where? My movements and thoughts are sluggish and slow as I look around. It takes me a moment, but I eventually realize I'm not in the lively throne room anymore. It's dark here, dank. Oh hey, you're finally awake. And filled with rubbish. You! I try to heave myself up as I spot Robin peek around, quite literally a pile of rubbish. But the act gives me vertigo and sends me toppling back onto, some kind of nest. Oh, easy now. I mean, you're fine. You'll just be a bit dizzy for an hour or two. I glare at Robin unblinkingly as I slowly regain my footing. Why did you do that? Why did I what? Scowling, I push aside my fatigue and reservation to wobble over to Robin, getting right up in their face. This only seems to amuse them. Why on God's green earth? Not technically. Did you decide to knock me out and drag me down into... I look around, gesturing wildly. Some godforsaken sewer! Oi, watch it! It's a cistern, and I live here. So rude. And to think, I even let you sleep in my bed. I crane my head back to the pile of straw, torn fabric, and twigs that was splayed across before. Oh, of course. How could I forget? The mark of any good host is to poison your guests and then top them lopsided onto... Poison? Oh, come on now. That's a bit of an overstatement. It was more like having too much of a go with the spirits. Without the spirit. I glare harder, unimpressed, confounded, and more than a little troubled that they're being so nonchalant about all this. I'm left wondering if they're really that thick or simply the world's biggest bastard. Right. So you drugged me then. Now, doesn't that sound ever so much better? Great. Glad you agree. That is definitely not what I... Bah, you were fine. Listen, I don't make messes I can't clean up after. That little berry probably isn't even in your system anymore after all. Well, actually, there wasn't much there to vomit, so I guess dry heaved. My point stands. Right. World's biggest bastard it is. Besides, we need to get out of that little stitch somehow, and the aftermath was pretty funny. Excuse me? Yeah, your little tumble turned poor Maeve right around. I'm sure she's still looking for all the herbs I told her to grab for you. My God. Of course, looks like all you needed was to sleep it off. Ah, well, better safe than sorry. I sigh, exasperated, with my head in my hand. I look like that fucking, the Shinji meme from Neo Genesis Evangelion. In other words, you did all this to send Maeve on some wild goose chase. Pah, you wound me with all these spurious accusations. But it'll give us a chance to speak with the king privately and fill him in on our, plans. I squint. Plans.
Yeah, remember. To get you an audience with old Flan. You know, you told me you wanted to switch sides after all. Isn't that right, buddy, pal, friend?
I said nothing of the sort. I said nothing of the sort. I didn't say shit. I was unconscious because you drugged me. Is this just gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss the character? A silence lingers over Robin and I to think about what he just said, or more pointedly, how he said it. Do they know? I'm going to confront. That feels a little weird. I hold Robin's eye, but my decision to do so only grows more unsettling with time. They don't have the eyes of a person, so to speak, but a thing. A creature feature. They glint in the low candlelight staring back at me. Not threatening like a predator, but intently. I swallow. They already have me stuck here, but there's no point being evasive. Just maybe a little coy. You know, don't you? Robin gives me a long, unblinking look followed by a slow grin. Me? I don't know anything. Well, maybe I know some things. Water is wet, the sky is sometimes blue, and you, Diona, are in a very, very precarious predicament.
But don't worry, you got a good fellow in your corner. Me, Robin Goodfellow. Neither good nor a fellow.
God, you're gonna piss me off is what you're gonna fucking do. You're gonna piss me off is what you're gonna fucking do. And if you don't trust me on that, good, you're learning. Keep it up. But seriously, apropos of nothing, we're both in hot water here, so it's probably for the best that we have each other's backs, I paused for a moment, contemplating. But, from what you're saying, I have to, change course.
Oh, well, yeah. That's kind of a given now, unless you no longer fancy having a head. Not that I can judge. I switch mine out from time to time, too.
Honestly, though, it's nothing personal, kid. This lot had a war not too long ago, so they're all pretty antsy about the comings and goings between the courts. Everything's gotta be above board, or else very, very secret. And unfortunately for you, you stick out like a sore tongue. Sorry. I bite my lip. I'm not certain how to phrase this without being too revealing, but regardless of what I say, then there's nothing I still need to go back on the other side. Oh, well, that's easy enough to deal with. I have a quick little trick that helps me get around these parts without getting noticed. Usually. So, about after all this is settled, I just pop you back on over for a bit. In fact, why don't we shake on it? You follow my lead, and I'll make sure we can take care of your business on the Sealy side. So, what do you say? Is it a deal? With an ever so slight bow, Robin extends his clawed hand out to me once again. You know, if it helps me get home... Okay. I look between Robin's hand and their face, squinting my eyes. Once again, it doesn't seem like I have much of a choice. Robin is the only reason I'm over here to begin with, and if the border is as tightly watched as everyone says, then I'll never get back to that lake on my own, and that's assuming it's anywhere close. Sighing, I resign myself to my fate and reach out to grab Robin's hand.
Wow. You're hopeless, aren't you?
Shut up! I'm pretty and cool and poggers. My mom says I'm cool. Kid, follow my lead is just about the vaguest instruction I could have given you just now. Under those parameters, you'd be my little puppet till the end of time. Or yours. Of course, while that would be terribly fun for me, it's a little too mean to be worth it. I pull my hand back as quick as anything, flushing bright red. What do you mean?
It's just a little word of warning. Around these parts, it's best to watch out what you agree to do. You can never be certain how it will pan out, or who has your best interests at heart.
Okay. So, how about this instead? If you decide to play your part in my little ruse, I'll help you get to where you need to go in the Sealy Court, alright? I sigh, looking Robin over more a little suspiciously. Between the horns, the cloven feet, and silver-tongued words, you're a sly little devil, aren't you?
Haven't heard that one in a while. How, nostalgic.
Well, suppose we ought to mosey along now. 'Twas nice to have a visitor, but the king awaits. With that, Robin claps her hands together and bounds towards me, wrapping their arm around mine. Wait, where are we? Before I can even finish my question, I watch with amazement as Robin reaches out and seemingly claws at the air, breaking it apart at the seams until all that's left is a bright, white, undulating light.
Hold on tight now. Don't want you to get somewhere else you don't belong,
The air around the void feels cold, yet charged somehow. It makes the hair on my arm stand on end. Wide-eyed, awestruck, and unsure of what's about to happen, I instinctively pull myself closer to Robin, grabbing onto them with both my hands. It's less intimidating than it looks, trust me. What is it, though?
A ley line? They're all over the place, actually. You've probably stepped through half a dozen today alone. Most folks just can't see them, let alone interact with them. They're like pathways made of condensed energy, all flowing out in a single direction. If you open them up and pop in like I do, you can follow with or against the current to either end of the path. Timed just right, it'll get you all over Tiernan lickety-split.
I blink. I understood none of that. I ain't reading all that, Chief. So, where do they come from exactly? Oh, well. don't know, really. All of them seem to lead back to that great big pit by the Sealy's castle. You know, the one with the waterfall. No one's, gone down there, though. Not unless they're in a funeral boat, I mean, because the pit just keeps on going. Guess that's why some folks think it's a one-way trip to Magmel. Yeah. Magmel. Home of the gods? Well, better get going. Here we go! Without much else in terms of forewarning, Robin leaps forward, tugging the both of us into the void. My vision is once again blinded by a white light. I'm weightless, but feel motion all around me. It feels like Robin and I are going impossibly fast, yet I have no idea where. And now. Suddenly, the void vanishes around Robin and I feel myself coming to an abrupt halt. Thankfully, Robin's hold on me keeps me from losing my balance again. As I reorient myself, I see that we've returned to the throne room, but now the only people in it are me, Robin, and... There we are, nice and easy, just like I said. Now on to find the... Oh.
There you are. I see the druid's alive and well.
Babe, you're back already. Great, that's just perfect because... Right, Diona, they still need the herbs. Why? They look fine to me. They're just putting on a brave face. Robin proceeds to not so discreetly elbow me in the ribs. Ouch! Why the...
They're in agony, even from the lightest of touches. Every step is like walking on glass.
So, while you go help them, I'll go get the king and...
No need.
Oh!
She already did.
Wait. I need to remember how you... I need to remember how you fucking... I need to remember! Where's the fucking... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? 75, right? Okay. Ah! Oh my god! Oh! Oh my god, look at him! Oh my god! Go! God! If this is your king, I'm switching! If this is your king, I'm switching! I'm just saying! If this is your king, I'm switching sides! Oh my god! All of us turn around, at once drawn to the booming voice at the end of the hall. Seated there, atop the dais, is a man with long red hair and a steely gaze, half obscured by an eye patch. The king of the unseelie court. Though he sits, the king is an imposing presence, tall, brawny, and authoritative. He gazes out at all of us with intense scrutiny, but I can't help but notice he seems to linger a little longer on me! Hey! Hey! How's it going? How's it going? Oh my god! You ever see Lord of the Rings? Fucking... Oh my god!
The plan?
My main man! Didn't see you there! How was the, hunt? Oh! Sorry. So this is the human, the Sealy Court druid. Diona, isn't it? After ignoring Robin entirely, the king pivots his focus back to me. In turn, so does everyone else in the room. I'm quiet for a moment as I look between Robin and Maeve. Maeve regards me pensively with a short nod and a slight smile. Robin, a little sheepishly, offers me a wink. I take a deep breath, turning back towards the king with a slight bow and... Oh! Okay. Either I confirm it or I switch sides. Dude. Guys! Okay. Not anymore. Yes? Fuck. No. No, I'm conflicted. No. I'm conflicted now. Okay. Because it's either I go with Elf Mommy or I go with Elf Dilf, and I can't choose because I'm indecisive as fuck. I need you guys to make this decision for me. What the fuck? Where's the polls? New poll. Damn it. It won't let me. I guess this is the way we have to do it. Because it wouldn't let me put MILF, and I think that's bullshit. It would not for the life of me let me put fucking MILF, and I think that's bullshit. That poll is up right now. Because I am indecisive as fuck. Because otherwise I'm doing, because otherwise I'm gonna do a coin toss. Okay. There it is. All right. I have prepared the coin toss. I have prepared it. All right. I'm gonna grab the coin toss thing, okay? Let me change screens real quick. Now, there it is. Okay. Now, heads is gonna be Aoife. Tails is gonna be the king, okay? So we're gonna flip it. We're gonna flip it right now. Fuck! Okay. Best of three. Okay. So that's one. One for Aoife. Oh shit, one for the king. Oh fuck, we're already starting like that, really? Alright. Alright. I think I know what we're doing. The coins have decided. Chat, we are switching sides because I fold easy. Yes, Your Majesty, but not anymore. Oh? Explain yourself. Allow me to cut in. You see, no. You will have the opportunity to explain your hand in this matter later. The druid can speak for themselves. Ah! I swallow hard, clutching my hands to stop them from shaking. I no longer want to associate with the Seelie. And why is that? Truthfully, though I haven't been here long, nor quite know what I think of these unseelie folk either, I could list a good number of reasons I still wouldn't want anything to do with the Seelie, or at least the Seelie court. But when you get down to it, it's mainly for the same reason I don't much care to visit the big cities back home, especially the ports or up north. I fold my arms, my eyes downturned. Nothing too complicated. The nobles are arrogant, disrespectful, and don't care for no one but themselves. I see you do not count yourself among them, then. That is curious, since the court druid is itself in an enviable position. And as I understand it, the Seelie Queen chose you personally from among a great many potential candidates. I blink, surprised to hear that, but quickly move on. I suppose that's true, but if I'm just as much a noble as they are, they don't act it. I feel like I'm more of a pet or a curiosity. They don't take me seriously at all. So it is a matter of pride, is it? Ah! Well, I suppose I can't fault you on that front. I'm sure your disdain is shared by a great many on the southeastern side of the border. Yes, yet they do not hold a seat in the historic capital of the Tionanog. So I wonder, why should I care about your wounded ego more than theirs? What? No, I didn't say... Didn't you? I paused involuntarily, looking back, somewhat panicked at Robin and Maeve. But they have no words for me, only looks of apprehension. Well, I turned back, clearing my throat, and stared up at the king with my arms wrapped close to my chest. I'm not asking for special treatment, your majesty. In fact, I didn't mean to be here at all. Certainly didn't tuck tail and think that you lot would take me in just because I'm some big important sort. It was an accident, and had I not stumbled through that ley line thing, I doubt I'd be here pledging myself to you now. And yet here you are. Why? To me, this sounds more like a little more than self-preservation. Well, I suppose there's a bit of that, if I'm honest. Not like I've been here very long. The king stares at me unimpressed. But what I will say is that this place has surprised me in a lot of ways. The people on the Sealy side don't think too kindly of you lot, and as I'm sure you know. And it's got problems. Sure, I had a run-in with some bandits when I first got here. But I can't help but wonder whether most of that is just because life's dealt you a piss-poor hand, you know? The Sealy court live in paradise, but the folks in charge seem mostly silly, vain. They don't feel too keen on making other people's lives better. I mean, they certainly wouldn't hold public feasts like this. So, I don't know, maybe I may not understand everything about this place or the war, but I think I can respect the way you're trying to run things around here, and if you'll have me, maybe I can help. What you say is well spoken enough. It may even be honest, but we are not in the Sealy court.
Pledges of loyalty without real evidence of conviction mean little here. They mean even less to me. Who's to say you're not lying to save your own skin?
Okay, oh my god. Oh! Okay. Chat, oh my god. I'm gonna faint. I'm going to faint. Immediately. Oh! My god.
You must be aware that you're guilty of violating the court's treaty of mutual surrender.
Huh?
The punishment for any common man would be death.
Ah! Hey! I'll take whatever punishment you give me. Hey! Listen. You listen here, sir. You listen here. I'm not above a little bit of a... I'm not above that, okay?
That you are still breathing speaks to your privilege as a statesman. And to your connections in this court.
Sorry. God, okay. So, Diona, tell me. If it is true that you do not care to be given special treatment, why should I not make an example of you instead? The keen stare weighs heavy and oppressive against me. My heart thunders in my chest, racing 1,000,000 miles a minute. One wrong word could mean my death. Then again, even all the right words may ring hollow in his head. I clench my fist, feeling nothing but powerlessness. I think that's the best word for it. Powerlessness. Ultimately, there's nothing I can do here, no correct choice to make. The king will do as he sees fit with me, with Robin, even the Sealy, so I simply bow my head. It is your right to do so, I suppose. The law is the law. I can't stop you or persuade you out of enacting it, but... I falter, biting my lip. Go on. I just don't want no one else to get hurt on my behalf is all. Maeve was just trying to help me, and Robin may be a lot of things, but he didn't mean to bring me here either, as far as the Sealy goes. Whatever else they are, I don't think it's fair to punish a whole nation of people over my own foolishness. Maeve. Yes. Take good fellow and leave us. As you command. No, wait, hold on. I think I ought to be able... Now. Oh! He said, now a conviction! Yes, sir! Robin's shoulders slump as he looks between the king and I. Silently, he mouths the words, sorry, kid, before being led away by Maeve. Now that it's only me left in the throne room, the unseelie king rises and steps down from the dais. I have to crane my head as he approaches me, given the height disparity between us. My eyes linger on the large crossbow strapped to his hip. Come with me. Woo! I shift back, watching the king skeptically. Why? The king pauses in his steps. I wish to continue this conversation with some more pain! Guys! Please. Chad! Oh my god! Chad! I'm in! Oh my god! I'm gonna scream. With that, the king walks past me and over to the doors. And without much more of a choice, I follow after him. The unseelie king and I traverse through the castle halls without a single word passing between us. His stride is swift, but he does not attempt to overpower me, and in fact glances over his shoulder from time to time to make sure I'm keeping up. Ah! But my stomach twists and turns the longer we walk. Where is he taking me, and for what purpose? Robin and Maeve seem to be confident enough that the king is reasonable and that he won't take drastic action. But is that true? So far, he seems temperamental and austere, even self-righteous. And what's worse, he has good reason to distrust me. My unintended transgressions aside, he thinks, like everyone else does, that I'm a member of the Seelie court and an important member at that. Right now, for all intents and purposes, he and I are enemies. We're here. I startle a little as the king's sudden announcement pulls me out of my musings. Where's here? Looking around, we don't seem to be anywhere in particular, just standing in front of an inconspicuous door somewhere fairly out of the way on the other side of the castle. My bed. Ah! Guys! Oh my god! What? Water. Hey, why are we going to your bed chambers, huh? You trying to try a little magic? Oh my god! Okay. I raise my eyebrows, but have no time to respond. The king immediately turns the door handle, opening it wide, and... Doggies! Oh, doggies! Puppies! Ooh. Unable to stop what's about to happen, I find myself being tackled to the ground by 3 large dogs, all bounding out past the king in quick succession. There's nothing I could do but lie there, flat and helpless, as I mercilessly stepped on, nuzzled, and licked. What? Oh, hold on. Okay. Konri Konol Kuan. Stop that. Despite the king's commands, there seemingly no end to the onslaught. I'm surrounded on all sides, and they're much too big for me to shove aside or squirm away from in a hurry. I love this! They're so cute! This is even better! Dude, this is better than what I thought it was going to be. Because we get dogs. I'm gonna finish that sentence. Eventually, the king is forced to come to my direct aid, kneeling down and pushing past the dogs in order to grab hold of my arm and pull me up. Get a hold of yourselves. You know better. Aww. Sorry about that. They're very excitable. Aww. Wait. Still regaining my bearings, all I can manage is a breathless nod and a wary smile. Anyway, come in. The king stands aside from me and the dogs, who all run back into the room ahead of he and I. After giving the king a brief glance, I turn my head downward again and follow suit. As I step aside, the first thing I notice is that the king's room is remarkably plain. Or at the very least, unkingly. It's not terribly big or fancy. There's some shelves, a table, a cluttered rug for the dogs, and some chairs with a footstool by the fire. But I could just as well see this room belonging to Maeve, or even an important servant. There's no sense of status, nothing beyond sheer utility. Did the king choose this room? It's odd in hindsight that it's so down and out of the way. Stranger still, though, is what's missing from the room entirely, namely a bed. Oh! True. Hey, where's your bed at? Could it be in that other room with a locked door? No, locked is the wrong word for it. The door is bolted shut from the outside with not one, but 2 locks, and a large plank of wood. I find myself staring at it longer than I should. Take a seat. I whirl back around to the king's gaze, putting the strange door out of my mind. I get the feeling it's the last thing I ought to be asking about at the moment, so I simply follow the king's gesture over to the fireside and sit down. In the meanwhile, the 3 dogs pile onto the rugs down and around my feet, all panting and warming themselves by the fire. As for the king, he remains standing, leaning back against the table. Where he then removes his eye patch, placing it down beside him. Oh, he's got issues. He's got daddy issues, because his dad's dead. I didn't expect him to do that, and I'm surprised by what I see. There's a redness around the eye, perhaps a burn mark. But the eye itself has something strange about it, too, though I can't quite put my finger. It's purple. Yeah, it's kind of purple. Is he blind?
Think me handsome, do you?
Yeah? Yeah? I do! Hey, listen! Hey, listen! Listen here, you. I have no standards. I have standards. No, I do. I do have standards. I do find you conventionally attractive, my king, and it makes me more willing to be part of your unseelie court. Please. Yeah? I slapped my hand immediately over my mouth. Christ, why did I say that? Because it was me! Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm a fucking Riz King! Holy shit! I am the Rizzler! Hi, Darian. What? Terrible! Okay, I am so sorry that you came into stream, Darian, while I'm over here fucking live gooning to an elf man. But I promise there's a good reason. I promise that there is a very good reason as to why I am folding for an elf man. Valid. No, look at him! Dude, do you know how well off I would be if I was with this king, dude? Like, listen, don't get me wrong. Listen. I love Queen Aoife. I think she's very pretty. I think she's very nice to me, and she's been very kind and calling to me, but I see shit. I see a man with issues whose dad is dead, and I'm just like, I fold. I do. Clicked in, immediate, oh no, he's hot. Let me just try to imagine him in his underwear. Oh no, he's hot! Well, unfortunate given the circumstances. I don't give a shit. Fuck the war. Fuck this other, like, territory shit. Hey, come here. We're gonna get to that bed. I'm sorry. I didn't mean... The king holds up his hand, seemingly just as eager to move on from the subject as I. Tell me what you know about the War of the Courts, Druid of the Seelie Court. I sit up straighter and tilt my head, racking my brain for what to say. Tell me, not much. Well, okay. We know a little bit about the wars, I think. I think we know... The most that we know was from Aoife. The most that we know about this war is from Aoife. And to be fair, chat, when you're talking about something like that, and you're only hearing it from one person, it's very easy to become biased. So I'm actually going to go with the notion that we don't know much, and we only know what Aoife told us. And if you're just coming in and you don't know who Aoife is the Seelie Queen. She is very pretty, and she is a MILF, and I like her. And I like that's one more. Not much, I'm afraid. All that was a while before my time. Which, by all accounts, is a true statement. I just got here. Just as well. No doubt whatever you've heard has been colored by the Seelie bias. Anyway, I was just saying that. I was just saying that. I will be as brief as I can. Once, Tirnanog was a united land, at least in name. The 4 provinces were ruled over by the unbroken lineage of... what the fuck? Of... Boddirog. Of Boddirog, son of the Dagda, who was himself of Danu's progeny. He was elected to rule by the kings of the Old World, and the blood of the goddess sanctified his reign, as well as his descendants thereafter. Yet, despite his honored lineage, Tirnanog found himself plagued by a fool. King Henri. He was weak, ignorant, and turned a blind eye to the grotesque greed of the Fla, and to the corruption in his own court as well. Half the land was inundated by abject poverty and squalor. The average Seelie, the average freeman, could hardly afford to eat, and the remainder of their meager earnings was either turned into the Fla in tribute or outright stolen. This is to say nothing of the unfree. Fuck. These words! Bohawk and Genclea were often no better off than the Fuda in their manner of living, and all were subject to grueling, back-breaking labor in the fields and mines. Do not mistake me, though. Our nobility was not a unique evil. Pelias and Phineas played no small part in the subjection of Murias and Gorias as well. After all, the king did nothing to prevent the inevitable inflation of the spring and summer's critical exports, such as produce. Oh my god. Okay. In that sense, the Ottoman winter Tirna. The Ottoman winter Tirna must have felt justified in working my people to their brink. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Okay. But not for their sake, of course. Fla only concern themselves with the maintenance of their own wealth. Gods forbid they ever forego a decadent feast. Regardless.
The most vulnerable people of Tirnanog were suffering, living existences of pure misery. Good, honest, hard-working folk watch their children starve. And yet, not one member of the ruling class did anything to stop it. Much less the king.
This is messy. They were only common folk, after all, though deaths only mattered if it impacted the amount of wealth they cultivated for their superiors. The quality of their lives was not worthy of consideration at all. We were in dire straits, so much that it came to the point that the gods had no choice but to intervene. This was not the first time the Tuatha Dé had faced such vile adversity. But in those days, it was the Fomor who kept us bound and repressed. Oh, and... oh, okay. Not our own people. My head spins as I take in all this, but one question sticks out of my mind. The gods intervened? What do you mean when you say the gods had no choice but to intervene? I'm surprised you don't know, Druid. The blessings of Danu are many. Chief among them is long life and godhood, or even rebirth for the most exceptional. High King Lu, for example. He led an extraordinary first life, accomplished many great things for the Tuatha Dé. In turn, he is now registered as a god, and has lived multiple lives of Inishval, even after our rule of it. Do you know the warrior Kuholun? He was said to be an iteration of Lu. Okay. I don't know about him. This is the first time I've heard it. As was my father. Oh, as was my father, Lugad. Okay. Kind of starting to make sense. He, along with the druid Finn, were the driving forces behind our rebellion. They embody the souls of our ancient kings who likewise fought for the freedom of the Tuatha Dé. Okay, that kind of makes sense, I guess. No, it kind of makes sense, to be honest. I'm trying to see... Okay. Is everybody too loud or too quiet? I need to know that shit. Like, if I need to adjust volume, like, let me... Like, just tell me in chat if it is. The Seelie can sneer and disbelieve all they want, but our cause is righteous, and my father. The king suddenly turns away from me for a moment, so that I cannot see his face.
He was an unparalleled leader
Mm.
and an inspiration to us all.
Mm.
All that we have today was wrought by his hands.
Mm. What happened in the end? The king is silent for a moment, then turns back around to me. We got close. Very close. But not close enough. We lost Finn and many more good men in what would be our last fight, to capture this very castle. From here, we were meant to push on to Tremere, and I wanted to keep going. We were dealt a blow, but victory was at our fingertips. But the Seelie called for a ceasefire, to negotiate terms. That is... Listen, I know that shit sucks for you. Your Majesty, I'm really sorry, but I'm just staring at your massive tits. It was a mutual surrender, and my father accepted.
We didn't lose. We did not lose.
Yes, sir. But we didn't win either. No one did. Instead, we're stuck in this godforsaken stalemate. We kept the territories we conquered, but the embargo between the courts is suffocating us far more than it is them. And now... Well, never mind. I didn't tell you this to make you pity us. I squirm awkwardly in my seat. Then, why have you? First things first, I won't be sending you to the block, so you needn't look at me so sullenly. Oh, thank God! But it's not on toujours. But it isn't on toujours, Goodfellow's word. Nor is it because I trust you.
It's because, and only because, your death benefits the Seelie more than it benefits us.
With no disrespect to you or your capabilities, you're an expendable asset to the Seelie. If you die, another druid will take your place. But you are important enough to cause a stir. Treaty or no treaty, they'll call your execution first blood.
This so-called peace, this pathetic truce, it was never meant to last. It was only ever the Seelie's last-ditch effort to stop the oncoming tide, to give them time to regather their strength.
But, to their credit, it worked. We're weaker now than we were then, having lost not one of our patriarchs, but two. Finn lost to the war, and now Lugard murdered. I stare at the king, my mouth agape. What? It is not common knowledge. Only the closest of my circle know, and now so do you. I'm sorry. I'm in shock. I can't believe what the king is telling me. I'm so sorry, Your Majesty. Sorry? Most Seelie thought of Lugard as a villain, a traitor. Why should you care about his matter of death? Well, I can't know the state of his character either way, but he was still your father, and you his son. Thank you. Aww! But I don't tell you this in hopes of reaching a sympathetic ear. I want you to help me find the bastard who killed him, and if the Seelie are to blame. Oh, okay, now it's all kind of coming together. It's all kind of coming together, because, listen, let's say for a second that the Seelie didn't kill his dad, right? If the Seelie didn't kill him and he was framed, and they were framed, like, okay, the king's probably not gonna like him still, but you know what? At least, Seelie aren't public enemy number one, right? Maybe it's a misunderstanding, right? On the off chance that they did kill him, we're absolutely fucked, okay? I nearly choke on the air, all manner of color leaving my face. One of the dogs looked up at me, startled by the sound. You what? But or the court druid to the Seelie queen, yes. If this was her plot, or the doing of another member, you were close enough to the beast's beating heart to discover its nature. I'm no fool. Oh!
I don't believe I've swayed your loyalties just by relaying to you this tale.
Yeah, you did. Anyway.
For all I know, the moment I release you, you'll go crawling back to the queen.
I ain't leaving. I am fully content in my spot. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make myself comfortable. You want me to go get you a bed?
Of course, if you do. Keep in mind the Seelie will be more inclined to honour the treaty than I,
Woo!
at present. So I'd advise against it.
Besides, I can offer you something that the Seelie Queen cannot, or perhaps more accurately, will not. And what's that? Your freedom. Your freedom to leave. Really? So I can just go back home? I don't claim to be privy to the ins and outs of magic or how it works, but I know desperation when I look it in the eye. No Seelie is as skinny as you. You've been starving yourself, trying to open one of the waypoints out of Tirnanog and into Inishval, haven't you? No, don't even bother responding. I know it's true. I've seen others try it during the height of the war and die in the process. You should know that one druid isn't enough to break through Danu's seal, except maybe the archdruid, and even then. Your window of time is brief. Maybe you do somehow manage to do the ritual all by yourself. You'd still maybe have a minute or two before the waypoint closes again. You could die or get lost in the void between. Forever. Damn! It isn't a risk worth taking. Trust me. Besides, as you know, the Order of the Eternal Flame took no side in the war and agreed to assist both dominions in druidic and godly affairs. What I'm saying is, I have the power to ask that you be let free, and I will upon my honor should you decide to help us. I don't know. I understand you've had a very long day, so I will give you 3 days of sanctuary to make your choice. Even if you are a spy, you won't find out much in that time. After that, you will no longer be welcome here, and must either return to the Seelie or face the consequences of your actions, accident or not. Understood? I nod, and find myself wordlessly rising to my feet. I wasn't dismissed, but I need to get out of this room. I need to think. The king, for his part, does not stop me, but as I begin to open the door... One last thing, child of Mil. Oh! Oh! Tentatively, I look over my shoulder.
This story is bigger than you and your desires. Remember that as you make your choice.
Oh, I think I already made my choice. Listen. Home? What's that? I'm already home. I say nothing, closing the door behind me. The saddlebag slips from my hand, the treasures it contains sprawling out across the floor below me, and I could scarcely bear to look. I don't know what this is. Fuck. They'll say I died. Damn. Oh. There's a door. It is sealed shut. I will unlock the door. Password? There was a password to this? What the fuck? Your mom. The door does not heed your words. Damn it! How frustrating. You're certain you have the right words written down, so... Wait. 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 Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. Is it here? I don't think it's here. Uh. Hmm. 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 Uh. 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 I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, dude. What the fuck? We'll just walk away from the door, I guess. Is that it? No way! Yeah, I was sure I had it written down, but like... Wait. Wait. Yo, what the fuck is the password? Fuck. 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 What the hell is the password? Fuck. I don't fucking know. We're just gonna guess again. We're gonna guess again. Weeness. Damn it. The door does not heed your words. How frustrating. You're certain you had the right words written down somewhere. Did you leave it at home? In your pocket? In my pocket? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Hold on. Here. Look. Hold on. Written in your pocket? What the fuck does that mean? What in the shit does that mean? What the hell does this mean? I don't know what this means. What the fuck? Artifacts? Oh, there's nothing here. Never mind. Fuck. Fuck. Okay, we need to think. Fuck. Wait. Okay, I'm okay. Let me think. Is this some kind of like Doki Doki Literature Club shit? This has to be some Doki Doki Literature Club shit, right? Where I have to fucking look at files. Hold on. Okay. Am I even able to do that right now? Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, it's one of these. I'm dead ass fucking looking through files right now. I'm literally looking through files right now just to fucking see if that's what this is. Okay, cash, no. That doesn't look like that's what it is. Template, placeholder, that's not what that is. Saves, no. That doesn't look like that's what it is either. Fuck. Okay, maybe that's not it. I'm dead ass fucking... No, because I am gonna figure out this password, damn it. fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh, big stretch. Shit. What the fuck? Please, God. I need to figure it out, dude. I need to figure out this fuck off password, dude. I need to see him. I need to see more of him. Him being, the elf man. Oh my god, that's so loud. Okay. Let me think. Fuck. I need the password, dude. You know what? You know what? Okay, okay. Oh, wait. Okay, wait. Chapter selection. Okay. I think it was here where I met Dana. Not Dana. It was here, I think, where I met Aoife. There was a choice here that I need to make. Yes. Want to stand and watch? Yes. The reckless. Corrector. Okay. We'll take a walk. Okay. It was, I'm going to lie. We're gonna see what they want. Was it here? Was it here then? No, it wasn't here. No, it's something else. Huh. Okay. All right. Maybe I need to do something else to figure that out then. All right. Okay. Well, we have about 20-ish minutes, so I'll tell you guys what. Let us move on, because I think we have another demo we need to finish anyway. Yeah, we have another demo we need to finish anyway. So we are going to load up the other one. which is Taisho Romance Theater, which I believe is, there it is. I was like, I know where it is. Jesus. Okay. Go back here. Go back. There it is. Okay. And then it was... we were... Okay. That one. Okay. And then... Yeah, I will have to figure that out. Okay, anyway. Let us... Where were we at? Load. Yeah, I was here. That's where I was. Because it was here, we were figuring out that... What the fuck? What was it? Something about murder or some shit. There was like a fucking fire or something, I think it was. I replaced the investigation report in the folder. Kazumatsuru reties the strings with practice ease and shuts it away again in the unlabeled cabinet. Are you angry about that? I feel like I ought to be angry, and I am, but for some reason I'm not particularly surprised. Just as I've personally witnessed before and heard from others, this is some sort of internal strife that is inevitable between people, and it's not rare by any means. What matters is how you turn it to your advantage. Oh, hold on. I need to fix this so that way you guys can see the text, actually. Here. There we go. That's better. Okay, now we can kind of see it. The ache in my forehead swells and sharpens. I don't like this line of thinking, and what I hate even more is that for some reason my brain has accepted it as a routine truth. My neck feels like it's snapped under this weight. My head sags lower and lower, about to kiss the dirt on my feet. Kazumatsuru strokes her chin. Then she speaks, dispelling the heavy silence that was starting to descend. Stop spacing out. Now that you've gotten your intel, it's time to help me out. Ah, yes. Right. Well, what is it? My tangled skeins of thought are abruptly shoved back into my skull, and I involuntarily stammer in response. Kazumatsuru ignores my lack of manners. She simply folds her arms and continues speaking. Before getting into that, I have to ask. It looks like you already know about magic, but do you have a deeper understanding of it? Deeper understanding? I must be visibly at a loss, because the look Kazumatsuru gives me is exasperated but unsurprised, like a veteran tutor faced with a slow pupil. I thought so, but I don't feel good about throwing you to the wolves like this. Ugh, it's already tough explaining the basics to the precinct staff. Whatever, I sure hope you're smarter than that. I'll start with some common knowledge for mages. I'm only going to say this once, so listen up. First off, what you need to know is that these powers, the gifts from the gods, can't be passed down through the bloodline. Also, the materials used in magic rituals are pricey, and it's hard to cover the cost alone, so mages value inheritance and family ties over everything else. You've been through this yourself, haven't you? You suddenly discovered you had some strange ability, and you were all at sea. You had no clue why this was happening. Magic is kept secret from the regular public, and also from mages who don't have teachers to guide them. Ah, I see. Got it. I nod, reflecting on how I'm still completely ignorant of my own magic. I have no idea where to even start unraveling this tangle. So, you should just assume that if you butt heads with a mage, you'll find yourself in no end of trouble. I mull over at Kazumatsuru's words, wondering exactly how she figures into all this. But judging from how she acted yesterday, so I'm guessing she's no end of trouble herself. But since it could be passed down by blood, I'm still putting together my sentence when Kazumatsuru stops, looking uncharacteristically hesitant. She's silent for a while before finally letting out a sigh. I have an uneasy sense of foreboding. Sakurai's words echo in my ears again. The Sakuma family is endowed with magical powers, and my sister has grown headstrong. You're spot on. And things are actually better in this generation. Before this, if a family had too many children with talents, the family mansion was essentially a coliseum. And if there was anything worth inheriting on top of that, the clash would continue until one party died. Ah! They're back. Okay. The May family fought among themselves, and the branch families, after defeating their own siblings, still had to vie with the May family's children. Some mages were so set on preserving the purity of their bloodlines, they even... No, let's not go there. You don't need to know any more than that. Kazamatsuru speaks in a low voice, her expression pained, but she quickly shakes that off and moves on to another subject. That's all on this topic. You should know about the Eltir, about Ateliers. For the majority of mages, this is the most important thing. Ateliers. My mind reflexively flashes back to the mysterious place that I was sent to after opening Kazuya's briefcase. Is that a space outside reality? Oh, looks like you've come across one. Not bad, that's exactly it. Mages, to be exact, most of those hereditary guys, have an atelier that belongs to them. That's where they're in closest contact with their divine blessings. Okay. That kind of makes sense, I suppose. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, I suppose. The principles of constructing an atelier are way too complicated to get into here. Basically, think of it as a series of large-scale magic rituals that take a huge toll on the practitioner. Once the construction is done, they gain a secret space that belongs to them and exists outside of this world. Unless they're unconscious or grant someone else permission to enter, that space belongs solely to them forever. I'm guessing you've heard a thing or two about Buddhism and Taoism and all that nonsense. Well, an atelier is the equivalent of their flower or leaf or their body. It never disappears, and in the hands of a mage who lives long enough, it becomes a treasure trove. It's almost impossible to construct an atelier single-handedly, which means that, effectively, only families can afford it. And since it can be transferred between people, well, I think you can guess what happens. It's inherited. Got it in one. Kazamatsuru snaps her fingers. Is it just me, or does she look relieved? She reminds me of a teacher, pleasantly surprised that a young child is actually capable of studying. I could barely imagine what sort of people she's been working with until now. It's very expensive, and its value accumulates over time, making it perfect to be passed down as a family heirloom. I mean, I guess that makes sense, kinda. Which means that mages who have the backing of families and mentors, and who are regarded, hi baby, I love you, and who are regarded as the next in line, basically all have their own ateliers, or are about to inherit them. Who knows? I bet if you go back to the Sakuma family, they'll have one ready and waiting for you. I don't know if I want that, considering the context. I don't know if I want that. Her lips twitch as she says this. Then she changes the subject again with seeming nonchalance. Ugh, I'm getting off topic. What it all boils down to is that ateliers are where mages can exert their powers to the fullest extent. That's why most of them secure their atelier in an object they can carry with them, so they can enter at any time. For a mage who's carrying out magical studies or preparing for a ritual, their atelier is the safest place to be, and it's also the most dangerous place for an invader. I need you to make contact with the worshippers, but I don't want to get you killed. If you notice that your surroundings have changed, you better watch out. What should I do if I'm trying to leave an atelier? Find the exit, or get the mage to let you out, or knock them unconscious. Of course, the best way to handle it is to kill them, but in your case, just sweet-talk them, no matter how much you have to bow and scrape and grovel. Dignity is less important than staying alive. Get out of there and let me deal with the rest. Speaking of which, Kazamatsuru's severe gaze settles on me. Her voice is stern. Do you have experience wielding magic? There's no point bluffing here, even though Kazamatsuru's stare sends chills between my spine and I nod. You're honest, the reliable type. Good, that's right. That's how everyone should be. Her gloved hand grips mine. She's squeezing quite hard, it hurts. But I bite back the yelp of pain before it can emerge. Because the look on her face scares me a little. It's like what exactly? It feels vaguely familiar, as if someone once expected me with this exact expression. Focus. Don't get distracted. Close your eyes. My eyes automatically fall shut at her voice. Before long, a soft breeze, threaded with the slightest chill, flows through our jointed palms, and gently makes its way into my bloodstream. My heart starts to pound, The familiar tuggy sensation courses through me again, and the next instant, I'm enveloped in that chill. And so I could feel something. Like blood, but not quite. Pouring out of my heart, rushing through my veins. It swiftly and tenaciously swarms into the crevices between every cell. At last, it comes to a halt at the back of my tongue with a faint prickling pain. This is your magic. It issues from the heart, the weakest part of a mage's body, and finally condenses in the body part you use to wield your magic. My penis! Remember the way it flows. When you need to use it, let your consciousness trace that path back towards your heart, and call upon the magic stored in your body. If you can't sense it, extreme emotions are a good way to pressure yourself and get your heart rate up. That's a bonus technique. Ew. As Kazematsuru finishes her calm speech, that chilly, syrupy feeling dissipates like a gust of wind. All that's left is a sudden molten surge of magic in my mouth. I'm seized by a strange impulse to open my mouth to speak, and I'm absolutely certain that I have the power to make those words on the tip of my tongue become an even greater reality. My mind is full to bursting. What should I say? My situation right now is so similar to how the things were back then in the theater. Did the script's transformation happen because of me? Or was it... My brain feels like it's crammed inside a mortar, being pulverized into a sticky pulp, but my tongue moves faster than my mind. You must be calm. As soon as the last word tumbles out, the pain in my tongue fades. I hope it hasn't left a blister. There, I've said it. An abrupt hush settles across the room. Kazamatsuru's sudden silence makes me a little uneasy. I instinctively widen my eyes. Her expression is completely blank, but the next instant she's back to the same severe manner I remember from our meeting at the theater, as if what I just saw was a mere illusion. She loosens her tight grasp on my hand and she straightens up, moving a little stiffly. Sorry, I got kind of worked up there. You okay? My hand hurts a bit. Kazematsuru heaves a deep sigh. The filing cabinet casts a shadow over her features. I'll buy you something to eat, to make up for it. Sorry about that. Damn, that sure is something. Don't use your magic here, and don't go around showing it off in front of other people if you can't be sure they'll keep their mouths shut. Remember how that felt just now. You can practice a bit more if you have the time. After all, other mages won't be giving you time to meditate. You have a whole lot of magical power. Your talent is greater than many people I've seen. You just need practice. She lets out another sound like a sigh. She seems to be doing that a lot today. And one last thing. She rests her hand on her uniform belt, then turns her palm upward. Suddenly, something appears in her hand. It looks like a pink tentacle, its body giving the occasional squirm. This is a familiar. This time, I can feel my face go rigid. Kazematsuru picks up the tentacle between her fingers. It seems docile enough. I watch it wriggle like a worm picked up by its neck. Do tentacles even have necks? It thrashes with all its might, like it's trying to escape the grip of the human hand. Familiars are also constructed, but there's no time to teach you that now. I'll go into it later. Familiars derive their abilities from their component materials and the magic used in the ritual. A long time ago, making familiars also required praying to the gods, but now that's been replaced by using purified materials. It works just as well. Most of them aren't harmless, and they aren't as small as this one here. If you run into a familiar, you better brace yourself. I gaze at the tentacle in Kazamatsuru's hand, its tip flexing, slowly curling and unwinding again. I strive to suppress my instinctive revulsion for something so alien. Ugh! But I get nowhere, so I have to stop looking at it. I'm trying not to be too rude, so I steel myself and let Kazematsuru finish before I speak. What can this familiar do? Kazamatsuru's lips move, and a wave of regret bears down on me. Ah, well, since you ask, I'm going to put it in your eye. In my eye? Huh? Wait, what's this all of a sudden? You aren't giving me an eye surgery or anything, are you? I won't be gouging out your eye or blinding you. I'm not into that sort of thing. This thing has no offensive power. It's the safest type of familiar. Even when it enters your eye, it'll keep itself hidden. You won't feel any discomfort. Kazematsuru hoists the familiar a little higher, treating me to a full view of its mouthless body and plump, glistening suckers. Its purpose is to boost your sensitivity to magic, so you can visually observe any spell traces of magical residue. That way, you'll notice if a mage passes by. If you know who they are, you'll be on your guard, won't you? It'll help you stay safe. Also, if you get attacked or stumble into someone else's atelier, it'll let me know your location and I'll come to your rescue. Kazematsuru seems to be completely in earnest. Putting something into my eye still sounds incredibly dodgy, but I could tell by from her words that she's deeply concerned with my personal safety. Does this just come with being a cop, or did something happen before? Her brilliant eyes are trained on me, but no matter how I try, I can't discern any trace of a lie in their tranquil depths. It's rude to pry into someone else's past. I clamp down on the urge and turn back to the tentacle, which now lies motionless in Kazumatsuru's hand, presumably worn out from struggling. I'm trying not to contemplate how it'll feel against my eye. Does it really have to go in my eye? Isn't there any other way? Most spells only last a short time, and anything of a longer duration takes a bit too much preparation. And if you just keep it with you, an observant mage will easily pick up on it. You're sure this is fine? Of course, I wouldn't get this wrong, even if it's just on account of the Sakuma family. I really want to ask how exactly who the Sakuma family are and what status they hold, to make her and Sakurai both speak of them with such wariness. But if Kazumatsuru still insists on stuffing the tentacle into my eye despite all that, maybe it just looks grosser than it actually is. Or maybe, can I keep my eyes closed or swallow it? I ask this question without harboring much hope, and indeed, Kazumatsuru laughs up a response. There's no trace of mockery to it, but my face still flushes hot. Oh, fine. Kazumatsuru reaches out and cups my face. Her gloves are coarse. Her calloused fingertips graze across my cheeks and slowly make their way to my right eye, leaving a trail of warmth in their wake. When she peels open my eyelid with 2 fingers, I inadvertently choke on a mouthful of spit. My expanded field of vision can now clearly take in the incandescent light beaming down from the ceiling, and Kazumatsuru's face approaching mine, eyes gleaming like gems. Kazumatsuru picks up the tentacle. Its fleshy pink body draws closer and closer to my eye. The tentacle uncoils, its tip languorously swaying in the air. My body grows taut with anxiety. I can feel Kazumatsuru's breath and the stirring of the wind. Hold still. I force my eyes to stay open. My eyeballs swivel clumsily to the side, but I'm still doomed to watch the familiar's inexorable approach. I don't think any psychological torture could beat this. The instant it settles down on my eyeball, I instinctively blink. Everything goes dark. All I sense is that touch upon my eye, vivid and unmistakable. The tentacle is icy against my eyeball. Its suckers are fastened to the most vulnerable part of my head like an insect's pincers pressing into rotten wood. But then I rapidly melt into my eye socket like water, dashing real tears from my eyes. I can't tell if any part of the familiar is washed out with them. Finally, a faint sliver of light appears. Only then do I notice that my right eye's vision is blurry, like I'm peering through a pink veil. Juxtaposed with my normal left eye, it feels surreal, as if the world has been split in two. Why can't I see clearly? As I ask my hesitant question, Kazumatsuru's fingers shift from my eyelid to my eye socket. She helps to wipe away the reflexive tears that are still seeping out. You'll be fine soon. It's still fusing. She sounds so calm. Her gaze lingers on my face for a long time, taking in every detail. I can't help but feel like a lab rat. I'm not sure how much time passes, but it must take a while. So long that the belated pangs of hunger start to gnaw my stomach. Finally, the color obscuring my vision drains away, and everything once again looks the same as before. As my vision clears, my ears almost simultaneously pick up the rumbling of my stomach. I can't tell if Kazumatsuru hears it too, but her lips do quirk upwards in a slight smirk. Can you see now? Yes. Time for lunch then. We've been hanging around here long enough. Before we leave, out of the corner of my right eye, I notice that my wrist is glimmering faintly with hazy traceries of blue and pink, like rippling water or silk threads. The patterns almost seem to intertwine, weaving into an intricate, unbroken scheme. And Kazumatsuru's collar also radiates gentle sparks of mingled blue and pink, like a gemstone under the light. See something weird? Yeah, some kind of glowing pattern. Ah, that's right. What you're seeing are the traces of your magic and mine. Remember, if you spot traces like this, that's when you have to beware of everything. Absolutely everything. Having said her piece, Kazumatsuru shoves open the door of the archives. It suddenly dawns on me what her expression back then reminded me of. Myself, last night, when I was in the hospital washroom rinsing my face with cold water, I caught sight of myself in the mirror. Why are you still sitting around? Don't you want lunch? My train of thought cut off and replied by instinct. Coming! Why is there so much? Isn't this a standard portion? Standard? Careful how you hold that or it's going to spill. Hey! It takes a while before Kazumatsuru and I settle down in our seats at the police canteen. It's the middle of mealtime, The canteen is already crowded with cops wolfing down their food. Katsumatsuru's entrance was met with numerous stares, some supposedly covert, others completely overt. My hand is still scalded red from the piping hot ceramic. I almost knocked over the food, and the culprit is sitting before me, this steamy bowl heaped with katsudon. Seriously, what's with you? Were you... Oh, never mind. It's not like you've ever had to carry anything yourself. Katsumatsuru's words contain a veiled accusation of silver spoons and a pampered upbringing, and I have no immediate rebuttal. After all, the one who just picked up a tray, almost overturned it, had to hastily catch the bowl before it toppled, and ended up burning his own hand. That was me, right here, Kotori Sakuma. But this bowl of katsudon is indeed enough to tempt a hungry person, let alone me. I've been ravenous for a whole night and half a day. The greasy aroma of fried food fills my nostrils. The air is thick with steam and the sweetness of sauce. Even before taking a single bite, I can imagine the sensation of the succulent meat giving way beneath my teeth, and how it'll mix with the soft steamed rice to form satisfying clumps. I eat a mouthful of the rice soaked in rich brown sauce, and a second, and a third. I don't scrape my chopsticks against the rim of the bowl, and I don't gulp down my food so fast in front of Katsumatsuru. That's all I can manage right now with my remaining self-control. Once I've gotten some food into my empty stomach, my body is briefly pacified, and I can finally sift through the events of the past 2 days. I unconsciously start to eat at a slower pace as well. First, Hatsuyuki and the troop members turned out to be corpses. Kazuya, Hamuro-sensei, and I are the only 3 remaining people in the entire troop. Then there are signs of the reversion on Kazuya's body. I look at Katsumatsuru, sitting across the table from me. She wants to track down the worshippers of that white monster, and they seem to be connected to the black mage who was controlling the troop members. Plus, what Hatsuyuki mentioned about the principles behind reversion. I'm sure that making everyone behave just as they did when they were alive, to the point that they could even perform it left along with me, can't even have a simple spell. But if so, if what Katsumatsuru is investigating really is connected to him, I've suddenly lost my appetite. The sense of the food is real, and so is the pleasure I felt as I chewed it. But now might as well be sawdust in my mouth. I'm full. The eyes are a window for wordless communication. How I wish I could bury mine beneath the table right now to keep Katsumatsuru from fathoming my guilt. She hasn't interrogated me like a criminal, but as her gaze descends on me, I feel as anxious as a petty thief spotted by the police. Oh, I get it. It's tough being an actor, huh? If you're done, I'll send you home. Remember to get used to wielding your magic. It'll take me a while anyway to spread the news of what you've been through. I'll let you know when it's time. Katsumatsuru pushes herself up from the table as she speaks. When we exit the canteen, the sun is already high in the sky, finally giving off enough heat to melt the snow. Katsumatsuru says nothing as we walk, and neither do I. I simply follow behind her, head bowed. I lose track of how many times I falter, but just as I'm about to speak, Katsumatsuru suddenly stops walking. I freeze, startled. Standing in front of us is a youth. He looks quite young and remarkably haughty. His feet are firmly planted, squarely blocking our way. Oh, hell no. Who is this corny ass? Who in the hell? Who are you? Who are you, sir? So, you found more cannon fodder, Captain Katsumatsuru. Even if I still had any doubts as to Lucio's identity, his hostile greeting has cleared those up. Katsumatsuru folds her arms. Even without seeing her face, I can hear the chill in her voice. That's none of your business, Kijimoto. This sort of provocation would work better on my father, if you could even get to see him in the first place. Your little brother is old enough to come stay with the main family now, isn't he? I've heard all about that boy's gifts, even here in Tokyo. How's that going? Getting worried yet? The youth's pale face gradually floods with red. I can hear the gnashing of his teeth. His nostrils flare and quiver, and his hands at his sides ball tight into fists. He's the picture of swelling fury, but under Katsumatsuru's stare, he can't keep his voice from quaking. Is that supposed to scare me? It's just a little brat, and the May family still hasn't named you as heir. Is that because of your screw-up? You think you're any better? Wait. You think you're any better off than me? I frown. No matter what, he's taking things a bit too far, and it's obvious that he doesn't intend to let us go anytime soon. But I briefly skimmed through the roles I played before, and then, with a practiced smile, I tilt my chin just a little. Just like Kazamatsuru taught me, I let my desire flow from the tip of my tongue back towards my heart, and the magic comes cascading down from my heart, taking over my tongue. Maybe I really am talented, as Kazamatsuru says, but right now I couldn't care less about that. Itsuru, who is this? Kazamatsuru's twitch is barely perceptible. Then she recovers and picks up the thread right where I left off. Thankfully, this Kijimoto-san didn't notice. Nobody worth knowing. One of those good-for-nothing Kazamatsuru branch spawn. Kijimoto's already flesh face takes on the even deeper hue of a drunk man. His brows shoot up, and he glares daggers at me as if he's on the verge of flinging curses. The words that come hurtling from his mouth make my eardrums twinge with discomfort. And who's this boy toy of yours? How dare you criticize me? I arch an eyebrow, and with another flick of my cheek muscles, I poise my lips in the faintest of smiles. But I very conspicuously rake my gaze over him, pausing only long enough to be sure he notices it. Then I turn away again and pay him no further heed. A gesture like this isn't aggressive, just impolite at most, but it might as well be a red flag to a bull. Before he really does punch me in the face, I step forward right into the path of that trembling fist. He takes a reflexive step backwards, and I speak loud and clear so that all three of us can hear it. Oh my, what a surprise! Me, a boy toy? This time Kazamatsuru really does audibly scoff. She shoots a scornful glance at the seething Kijimoto and tips her chin upward. Only a brain-dead imbecile could mistake a member of the Sakuma family for a boy toy. Kijimoto is apparently desperate to recover the dignity he lost by backing away just now. He lets out a loud bellow, and then, realizing that someone might hear him, hastily lowers his voice again. Itsuru Kazamatsuru, have you lost your damn mind? You think you could scare me by bringing the Sakumas into this? Everybody knows that the Sakuma heir is a useless scum with no talent. You're not fooling anyone with the street trash you hauled in from who knows where. At least put him in a skirt. Is that so? I wasn't aware that people speak of Serena this way in unknown quarters. It seems I had better let Minoru-san know that Kijimoto-kun here has a very idiosyncratic perspective on Sakuma family affairs. And you too can probably confirm with Minoru-san whether or not my surname is Sakuma. I let my mouth open wider as I speak. I want to be sure he sees my tongue brimming with magic. It feels like a burning brand in my mouth. His gaze settles on me, and I see his pupils start to quiver. He believes me. Or, to put it another way, he's weak by nature, and as soon as I display a sufficiently tough enough attitude to rein him in, he might claim not to believe me, but he will acknowledge this false persona I adopted. Moron. How does such a wise teacher turn out a wretch like you? Kazamatsuru flings out her last words. They make Kijimoto's entire body go rigid. You think that, as the eldest daughter and the heir, I won't take the family's interests seriously, and I'll koto to anyone just to get an edge over you, isn't that right? All this stubborn wrangling isn't going to make your walnut-sized brain any smarter. After so many years in Tokyo, you still haven't grown at all. It's a real shame. Also, if I let my father know that you insulted Sakuma-san and jeopardized the relationship between our families, well, you better think through how this might hurt your chances against your brother. Scram, get out of our way. Kazamatsuru waves him away brusquely. Through my right eye, I watch a flurry of pink winds send the youth reeling. He staggers back a few steps, clearing our path. Surreptitiously, Swallow. Bro thinks he's tough. Literally, that's what it is. Bro thinks he's tough. Bro thinks he's the shit. I surreptitiously swallow a scorching clump of spit and magic. As I do so, Kazamatsuru grasps me by the arm and we leave the youths ranting behind us. Well, I'll leave you to it. She stands next to a slowly melting pile of snow. Her boots splatter with muddy water. But after a few moments, she suddenly calls out to me again, stopping me in my tracks. What he said, it's true. I've been keeping something from you. And now that I'm thinking about it more calmly, you have the right to know what you've been dragged into. But this isn't the only time I can speak honestly about it. Do you want to hear it? It's probably better off if you know. After I've heard it, is it too late to refuse, even if I want to? Naturally. I nod. There's no change in Kazamatsuru's expression and her tone remains the same. Hive on Lycon. Yeah. Bruh. Where do I start? 5 years ago, right after I took charge of this division, there was a string of magical attacks in Tokyo. The victims were ambushed and abducted and then turned into twisted, deformed monsters. They had nearly the same powers as mages who undergo complete reversion. They were highly destructive and almost immortal and barely retained any sanity. Back then, it made a huge stir. When we tracked down the person behind all this, it turned out to be a black mage who worshipped that so-called Lord Octoteropes. Octoteropes. I know words. Lord Octoteropes is just like what you've seen. 8 wings and 8 eyes, feathers like fresh snow, eyes like emeralds. There's no record of such a deity in Japan or in any other East Asian country for that matter, so its followers are designated as a cult. But they're a cunning lot. We've been fooled so many times by the false trails they led for us. And in the end, I'm guessing they got sick of the fuss. That black mage made the first move and appeared before me and my team. She was an elderly woman, getting on in years. Kazematsuru seemed to be taking a deep breath, and halfway through, it turns into a sigh of resignation. The Special Investigation Division was a brand new unit. My father put the most into it, hoping to use it to restore the family's glory. With no one else stepping up, it was only natural to put me in charge. And apart from me, it was just a bunch of rookies the government dug up. Like you, they suddenly found themselves saddled with these blessings. They didn't know the first thing about the world of mages. They weren't sharp enough, or alert enough, or ruthless enough, or strong enough. But being too soft-hearted got everyone killed, and I was the only one who barely got away. He's right about that. Kazematsuru coughs twice. Her eyebrows sag from their perpetual arch, and her eyelids droop. She gazes down the snow as it slowly melts into the soil, frothing with tiny bubbles. I thought if I went to fetch backup, we could at least bring this one person to justice. But she, or the people backing her, they weren't people the Kazematsuru family could touch. That was when I learned that sometimes power is more useful than the magic you know. I regret it, but what good does regret do? She shuts her eyes. When she opens them again, those brilliant eyes lock onto me, clear as glass. I can't let this go. That's why no matter what, even if it means dragging innocent people into this, I have to see her dead. I don't care if she's protected by wealth or power or the other families. If I can't make her confess her crimes in the open, I'll fall back on the older ways. She stays perfectly calm to the very end, just as she said. But for some reason, I feel as if all those turbulent emotions are roiling beneath her icy surface. I've told you as much as I can. The rest will give anyone nightmares. You wouldn't enjoy it. The wind has blown her hat a little crooked. She catches hold of it, then wheels around and heads back to the entrance of the police station. Hold on. What? You told me before that all I have to do is to find them or wait for them to get in touch and then give you the information. That's right. And the rest, all that dangerous stuff, I'll handle it. It's got nothing to do with you. So at least you don't have to feel guilty about me. You got a real sharp tongue, you know. It's cold these days. You better go back and get some rest. I'll let you know if there's any news. On the way back to the troop lodgings, the snow seems unusually bright for some reason. I rub at my right eye, where an ache is slowly developing. A breeze whisks past, and when I lower my head, I notice a patch of color that stands out stark against the white snow. The smear of deep green extends along the street, into an alleyway that shows no signs of light or life. Standing at the mouth of the alleyway, by moonbeams and lamplight, I can just make out the signboard, half shrouded in shadow, and the words inked upon it. Watanabe Hall of Antique Books? The door to the shop is shut tight. A yellowed paper is tacked to it, announcing the shop's imminent closure. Okay. And those ominous flickers of deep green blink in and out of existence, fleeting as mist in the sun. Okay. Spooky shit. They rise and fall as if borne by the great breeze of some invisible beast. The unearthly aura they exude sends chills down my spine. My heart pounds faster and faster, drawing me onward, but Kazematsuru's words are like the reins on a bridle, yanking it back before it can leap from my chest. She said to watch out. Tokyo is a global city, the heart of Japan. I've only just become privy to some of the secrets hidden from the public. Even so, I'm well aware that, in such a vast population, a small proportion can still be a large number. It's plausible enough that a mage might have passed by not long ago. It's just that... I look up. The Watanabe Hall of Antique Books looms before me, blinking gently in the beguiling emerald glow. A snowflake drifts down, white, light as a white down feather. Another follows, and still more come tumbling until the pinpricks of light are like dots of paint on a blank canvas. This scene seems so familiar, but the elements it's composed of have been completely transformed. Amidst the haze of snow, a current stirs in the air, unfurling all around me at once, whispering above my head and beneath my feet, bearing some delicate and indefinable scent. As the snow falls, warmth blankets my body. When I stare in that direction, I see nothing but the glow of emerald and white. I don't know whether this is that so-called okitopropes manifesting or just a delusion from my frost-addled brain. Everything here feels so real. It practically breathes with life and presence. It puts me on edge. I want to leave. There's a sudden itch in my arm. It prickles with goose flesh as if my skin realized that I was being watched before my brain could. And those bones on my skin seem to be growing, swelling out into longer limbs. The sight is familiar enough to dull my curiosity somewhat. But just then, something scrapes my skin, like hair prickling against it, and that sharp itch is almost more than I can bear. No, he's tripping balls. He actually is, babe. He's tripping balls right now. I better go back and tell her about it. Before I leave, in a tiny patch of unperceived darkness, a feather slips from my sleeve. It drifts downwards, loaded with hesitation and unease. Its emerald shaft and white plume settle in the dirty snowmelt and gradually dissolve. When I open my eyes in bed, the sun is already aloft outside the window. I have no idea how long it's been up. My body feels so heavy, like I have sandbags bound to every limb. I've only felt like this after a full day of dance practice. Even lifting a finger is excruciating. The soft quilt weighs down upon me, pinning me in place. Only my soul floats in the sunlight with the dust motes, basking in the gentle floral scent. I didn't dream this time, but this dreamless sleep has left me even more exhausted. Maybe this is just what it's like being human. The train crash, the death of Hatsuyuki and everyone else, and Kazuya's scars. Once something is no longer an accident but the result of human action, the pain stops overflowing and is replaced by something else. Only when the patterns on the ceiling start to undulate and the shadow of the lamp begins to shift with the sun's rays do I finally begin enough strength to sit up and sort through my thoughts. I haven't seen Hamuro-sensei since getting back. Hamuro and Kazuya are fairly close, and Kazuya is generally the one who stays in contact with them. Hamuro doesn't seem to know what's going on, but I still need some ways to get them to talk. Hamuro-sensei's personality is so twisted I could ask them any number of questions and barely learn anything. I could probably ask Katsumatsu to look into it, but given her attitude, she might end up butting heads with Kazuya. Kazuya. I'm suddenly overcome by the urge to sigh. Surely he can't keep hiding the truth from me at this point. But apart from the living corpses and the magic, how much does he actually know? If there's really no other way. Hatsuyuki, Kazumatsu, and even Sakurai, they all brought up the Sakuma family. I do my best to ignore the nausea that wells up my throat at the mere thought of this name. It might just be due to my amnesia, but I wonder if the family members Sakurai mentioned might not be as warm as kindly as I once imagined. After all, I never heard anything about the Sakuma family from the other troop members, and it's a fact that we haven't been in contact since my amnesia. But if someone is willing to lend a hand, No, it's wrong. I no longer have the luxury of telling other people, you'll do, and picking up and choosing freely. Sakurai was right. I might have the chance to meet them soon. I don't harbor any deep feelings for my so-called family. Perhaps this is one of the few cards I have to play, as long as I use it well, as long as my younger sister will accept it. My thoughts are interrupted by a convulsive shiver, as if I'm warning my own brain not to venture any further. Before losing my memory, why exactly did I want to leave Tokyo? Best not to dwell on it. I'll just wait until Kazuya wakes up. Yes, I'll wait till he's awake. The other shoe has to drop then. But before that, there's the bookshop. The only trace I've seen since the familiar was implanted. A scene that's both recognizable and alien. Somehow, I don't think it's a coincidence. I'll tell Kazumatsu about it and go take a look. Now that I've thought all this through, the exhaustion coiled around me is like a knot that's been cut. The whole tangle unravels and falls away. Well, I'll wash up first and make a call to Kazumatsu, and then I'll start looking into the Sakuma family. I'm talking a big game, but my limbs are still sore and sluggish from sleep. My feet feel numb and inert, and like I'm treading on cotton wool. Even such a short walk proves challenging. When I drag myself to the telephone, lift the receiver, and turn on the dial, I still have to lean against the table for support. I listen to the static on the line, stamping my feet lightly to shake off that discomfort. What is it? Kazumatsu's voice sounds in my ear. As I string together a sentence, my gaze idly wanders away. Or just how I spot something that shouldn't be here. That's... Hello? What was that? Hey, answer me! The sun today is the brightest it's been in days. When I leave my room, the hand on the wall clock is still hovering between 2 and 3. The sun's rays are no longer like a small light bulb, all glow and no warmth. They've grown hot enough to melt away the snow lining the streets. I'm not fond of thick clothing, so this is the one good thing that's happened to me recently. The one and only thing. The envelope in my hand seems to be smoldering. Ever since I made my call to Kazumatsu, I noticed the lightly scented letter lying on the table, and the fact that there was no trace of damage to the front entrance or my room door. It's been like a beacon in the darkness, sleazy proclaiming its presence. Paper is dry, soft, and smooth, and it emanates the chilly fragrance of violet leaf. The signature on it reads, Sarina Sakuma. That's what made me finally decide to hang up the call, leave my room, and walk out into the lukewarm breeze. A younger sister who's vanished from my memories and who only exists for a fleeting moment in the mouths of others. Perhaps she wanted to save me, a new arrival in the city, from having to make too long of a trip. After the standard pleasantry, she's very thoughtfully set our meeting place as the cafe I've been dining in for the past few days. The tone of her letter was polite, so polite as to be distant, but I feel every word like a thorn on my side. A faint chill creeps from the soles of my feet to the top of my skull, as if countless eyes just discreetly swept across me and my skin caught on before my mind could. Even in this fine weather, I can almost feel my teeth chattering. It has nothing to do with the season. When I push open this cafe door and see that only one table is occupied, this mounting disquiet reaches its peak. Oh yes, water time. Yummy. It's the strange girl I saw the first time I came here. She and the maid standing behind her raised their heads in unison, and their identical wintry stares pinned me into the spot. Their complexions are equally pale. Their spines and arms have the perfect straightness of antique Western dolls in a shop window, ball joints rested and unmoving. I might never have drawn breath. I recall that peculiar feeling I had when we first crossed paths. Now that I realize the blood ties between us, that seems to explain it. My sister is calling to me through our kinship by blood. But why is she like this? Time seems so frozen. The silence is heavy enough to choke on. I could barely think of anything else. It's all I could do to maintain my calm exterior. Are you Sarina Sakuma? The afternoon sunlight is bright enough to illuminate every speck of dust drifting through the air. In this world, saturated with the sharp scent of coffee, sits the doll-like girl, gazing straight at me with keen golden eyes. Eventually, the muscles at the corners of her mouth flex, and a smile forms on her lips. It's a little stiff, but it brings some life to her face. Yes, it's me, Oni-sama. Her lips part ever so slightly, and she lightly exhales a long, slow breath that skates along the past, stirring up ripples on its flake surface. Then she gestures, directing my attention to the stack of documents on the table. I do believe you must have realized already, but to ease all your doubts, here is proof that you truly are my big brother. I shake my head. For the already renowned daughter of the Kuma family, there's no need to bother with establishing bona fides, whether hers or mine. No need for that. I don't think you'd lie to me about this. Sarina seems fully satisfied with my reaction. She doesn't just raise the corners of her lips, but her eyebrows as well. It's been a long time. You look much better than you did before. I'm so glad. Okay, I think here is where I'm going to save. Yeah, here's where I'm going to save. We're going to continue this tomorrow. I don't trust her Hunji Stinky. Yeah, she probably is. I'm going to go ahead and find somebody to raid real quick. So to sit tight for a second. Yeah, we're going to quickly find somebody to raid. And I think... I think we're actually going to raid some Magic Necro today. Looks like we're playing Clover Pit. So this is going to be our raid message. Okay, and then... Okay. That's a raid message. Anyone who follows the channel will be able to use the emotes. But thank you guys so much for coming in. We'll be back tomorrow with more of Taisho Romance Theater. Hopefully we'll be able to finish it tomorrow. We'll see. But until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye. It's raid time. It's raid time. Bye-bye.